there's also a lot of pains and headaches and challenges that come with hiring that many people and that quickly. Can you tell us about your experience of that? Like, what have been some of the challenging aspects of being able to hire the right people, at that scale so quickly?
It's a big time commitment. Regardless of how ambitious you are on trying to hire people, it's a big time commitment to run a whole interview funnel. Diverse set of candidates, they each get talked to initially, and then some of them get interviewed. And just the time you have to spend, it eats away from everyone's quote unquote day job. And if you're trying to do something massive, like we're going to double the size of our sales team, like it ends up being like an operational kind of go for hitting like arcade game, and that's really hard. That's just really hard to do. I mean, we had to have like a huge talent acquisition team to help us. And there's just, candidates that you just have to keep filling up in the funnel. And we're so fortunate we hired some amazing talent acquisition experts that came in and are truly the best at what they do, of finding great candidates to hire. Then it's like the onboarding is very challenging. Like if you're not at the point where it's almost systematized, like YouTube level, I can just watch stuff about the business and learn it. If you're still like writing things on whiteboards, trying to train people by hand, it'll never work at the volume. We've always invested in doing really great training in the company, and there's specific training for each department, and then there's kind of what we call executive level training, where every executive in the company will spend some amount of time with every person that gets hired. So first they get to know us, and B, they get to know how we think and what's important to us. Yeah, and then the other thing is just building up the entire infrastructure around what I call being a best place to work. And being a best place to work is like fair and equitable pay up front, career laddering. Like I'm a senior engineer. How do I become a senior engineer too, or a principal? Or I want to be an individual contributor versus being on a management track where I'm trying to manage people of the same function. Having career like banding and laddering and promotion paths, and then the performance review cycles, and committing to doing it regardless of how painful it is, to give everyone in the company 2 times a year a performance review, sometime in June and sometime at the end of the year as well. And that takes a lot. And even having a large balance sheet worth of cash can't make it better, because you have to build stuff. You have to build processes. You have to write core documents around, what are the laddering all the way up from you're an intern to you're a senior vice president in the company. And that just takes time. And to do it right is to treat your employees the best you could possibly treat them. Everyone has a fair job description. No job is completely ambiguous. They know what they're going to do every day. They know what expectations there are. They know what goals they have for this year, for the department, for the company. Communicating all of that is more than a full-time job. It's the full-time job of inside LinkSquares, maybe more than 10 people, 12 people, 15 people, just kind of dedicated to this whole people function. It doesn't work without people. And then how do you become a best place to work? Well, now you're a preferred employer over some other massive giant company that's even more famous than us, but people still want to join. So it's like all these things. There's no silver bullet with managing human beings and doing it well. You just have to do the work, and that takes a long time.